All right, let's continue with our practice test here, and let's look at this problem here, number 15. If sine theta is negative 3/5 and theta lies in quadrant 3, find cosine theta. All right, now let's just start off with the given that sine theta is equal to negative 3/5. Let's look at that one. Sine theta is negative 3/5, and so I have, what I'm going to use is cosine squared theta plus sine squared theta is equal to 1. And I'll put in negative 3/5 for cosine. Oops, no. I want to put cosine, I want to find cosine squared theta. So for sine, I'm putting in negative 3/5. And so therefore, cosine squared theta is equal to, cosine squared theta plus negative 3/5 squared, that makes 9 over 25 equals 1. So cosine squared theta equals 1 minus 9 over 25. Cosine squared theta, I need a common denominator, which will just be 25 over 25. And, well, let's just take a little bird tracks over here. Cosine squared theta, therefore, is 25 minus 9 is 16 over 25. Now I take the square root. And when I take the square root, the question is the square root going to be positive or negative? Well, hold on. What's going on is I have it, I'm going to draw a little circle here quickly, unit circle. I'm looking at quadrant 3. And in quadrant 3, both sine and cosine are negative. And for that reason, I am going to say cosine's negative right there. And also I'm going to, take the square root. And that's going to give me the answer. So there's our answer right there, negative 4/5. Here's another one. Cosine theta is 5 over 13 and lies in quadrant 4. Find sine theta. So I'm going to, once again, use cosine squared, or this is alpha. Cosine squared alpha plus sine squared alpha equals 1. And, all right, so I have 5 over 13 squared plus sine squared alpha equals 1. That's 25 over 169 plus sine squared alpha equals 1. So therefore, sine squared alpha equals 1 minus 25 over 169. And bird track over here. Sine, oops, I wrote not squared, but something else. So I have sine squared alpha equals 169 over 169 minus 25 over 169. And that's 144 over 169. Take the square root. And I have the square root of 144 over 169. However, again, I need to determine is the angle going to be, or no, is sine going to be positive or negative? And that depends on the quadrant. So we're looking at quadrant 4. Let's take a bright color here. Quadrant 4. In quadrant 4, the cosine's positive and sine is negative. So therefore, this gets a big minus, negative for sine. So sine, not negative for sine, but anyway, it's negative because it's in quadrant 4. Because sine is negative in quadrant 4. So I'll taking the square root, I'll have that answer. That's our final answer. Okay. Referring to the angle beta and the unit circle, find these trig values. Unfortunately, my picture is a little tiny, maybe too small, but okay, we'll just live with that. Could make it bigger, but let's just go with this. Okay, now in the units, and this is a unit circle. So in the unit circle, sine is the y-coordinate. So I get the y-coordinate, as I see, is 3/5. A little bit small, but anyway, 3/5. Cosine is the x-coordinate, negative 4/5. And maybe it's better if I point that out first. Or maybe not, actually. I don't know, maybe it doesn't look as good, but I could do that. Sort of don't like as much, but tangent is y over x, and that will be negative 4/5 divided by 3/5. So that's going to be negative 4/5 multiplied by the reciprocal 5/3, and I get negative 4/3. All right, so highlight just to make everything clear there. And then cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. So cosecant beta is the reciprocal of sine beta. So therefore, I'll just take the reciprocal. I have 3/5 for sine beta. Reciprocal is 5/3. Then secant beta is the reciprocal of cosine. So I'll get negative 5/4. That's the reciprocal. Cotangent beta is the reciprocal of tangent. So I'll get negative 3/4. So that actually ended up not being all that difficult there. And okay, so I'll zoom out and we can look at the whole page and then sort of stop there on this video for this page.